Are you thankful for the things that are in your life? Or are you constantly chasing something more? Do you have the time to like practice gratitude every once in a while? Or do you just kind of sit there and say, well, if I get that car or if I get that new job, then I will be thankful? This video is for you if you want tips on how to practice gratitude, or actually more in this area of what it does for you, when you start to practice gratitude. My name is Marie and welcome to this channel. I'm so super happy that you're here and I'm very thankful that you're here. I'm thankful that we get to meet each other today. If you're new, I'm so happy to see you. If you've been here a while, then great. I'm happy that you're back. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to gratitude is when you practice gratitude, you have this kind of reverence for life. So I know you've heard this before, but let's talk it through a little bit. Everything in life that is worth something is free, right? So breathing, the kind of magical umbilical cord that we have between our body and the ethereal, the things that we can't see, right? We breathe in this air into our lungs every single day, probably most of the time without thanking, the air around us for providing us with life. We just breathe in and out, unconsciously, all this beautiful life-giving energy that allows us to live, the oxygen. Being thankful that you can breathe, that you can take a really deep breath, fill up your whole system with that wonderful energy. That's kind of an amazing feeling. If you do any kind of breath work or any kind of like yogic breathing or any kind of breathing work, you'll start to realize how much you take your breathing for granted, which is probably a good thing, because otherwise we'll go around thinking about, am I breathing? We would die instantly if we had to think about that. But breathing is just one example of what you can be thankful for. That's absolutely inexpensively free, right? Love. You can't pay someone to love you. I'm sure people have tried, but it doesn't work that way. We love people for free, essentially. We might have some conditions on it, like we have that conditional love. We haven't really achieved the unconditional love phase yet, right? Where you just love everything freely. But we can't force someone to be friends with us either, like friendship, right? That's something that we give to each other. It's something that's accumulated over time. It's not something that, you might meet people and say, wow, I really like you, you become friends very quickly. But it's still something that you're continually giving energy, and you can't kind of force someone to be friends with you. If they don't like you, they're going to stop being friends with you. So all those things are for free. And if you sit down just for a moment and be thankful for all the things that you have, the things that are free, and maybe the things that are not free. Maybe you're thankful for the house that you live in, or the car that drives you everywhere you want to go without asking any questions. You can just sit down and say, wow, I'm really happy for this apartment that I have. I know I pay for it, but I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful I have a roof over my head. I'm so thankful it's warm here. I'm so thankful that, there are people who live on the streets. I'm so thankful that I am here safe with my family. You can say thanks to your food. Giving gratitude to your food is the most amazing thing, right? You can insert that gratitude into your food. When they take, and I'm sure you've seen this, when they take pictures, crystals, when the ice starts to crystallize, they take pictures after they've shown the water crystals the word gratitude, or after they prayed, gratitude into that water. It produces the most amazing crystal. I've seen pictures of it. It's absolutely gorgeous. After I saw that, it's like you start putting little notes on your water pictures with gratitude. Also, if you combine two energies of gratitude and love together, so you give love to your water, you give gratitude to your water, it produces the most incredible crystal as well. Those two things together seems to really be amazing. And I would say one of the easiest sort of positive feeling to induce in yourself is actually the feeling of gratitude. So if you're feeling a little bit low and maybe you feel like you can't really give love to yourself or anyone else for that matter, practicing gratitude and just saying thank you for the things that you do have is just, it changes your life. There's a huge difference. So I would say starting with being thankful to everything that is out there already. We didn't even get started with nature, right? Nature, just going out in nature and practicing gratitude also is absolutely amazing. So I would definitely say that that's the first thing you can do. Just say thank you for everything that's free. The second thing that gratitude does for you, if you start to kind of infuse it into your life, it increases your vibration. So since it's such a, quote unquote, easy thing to bring into your life, if you're feeling down and out on everything else, feeling thankful is kind of a less difficult high vibration emotion to get into. And that increases your vibration so quickly. And when you increase your vibration, you'll start to feel better right away. So the vibration in you starts to slowly increase, and you start to feel like you can breathe a little lighter. You can see things like above the surface a little bit, because sometimes we sink below that surface, right? And when we increase our vibration, what happens is we start to flow a little easier. Like things starts to be a little bit easier. Even if it's been tricky in your life for a long time, if you start to infuse that with a slow amount of gratitude, you'll start to see things change fairly quickly for you. And number 3, when you start to do step number 1 and 2, be grateful for the things that you already have and increase your vibration, all the things that you want in life are actually going to come to you without you really struggling for them, because you're now an energy frequency meet for that very thing to show up in your life. So beforehand, maybe you were kind of stuck and caught in this, I deserve this, I should get this promotion. I really deserve a better house. I can't believe the universe is giving me such a crappy car, whatever, right? You're sort of trapped in that negativity. When you start to increase your vibration, the universe has to respond to you. It's not like the universe doesn't respond to you talking to it, right? If you say, I want this car, and the universe is like, okay, great. But you also have to vibrationally match that want. You have to kind of feel like you already have it. And I know that sounds weird, so let's break it down a little bit. If you practice gratitude for what you already have, you're constantly sending out this energy into the universe that's saying, I'm thankful. Thank you so much for giving me all these things. But if you're constantly sending out a desire, like, I want this thing, I want this better house, I want this nicer car, I want this great relationship, the universe is like, yeah, you're right, you want. Which means that you're pushing it further and further away from you because you want that thing so badly. But if you're instead saying, thank you so much for giving me this thing, thank you so much for allowing me to have all these beautiful things in my life, then the universe is like, oh wow, you have an energy of being thankful for all the things that you want, meaning that you're magnetic. You're now going to attract all those things. It's kind of like the way magnets works, right? When you turn it against each other, it either pushes the other magnet away or it pulls it closer. So you need to be a magnetic match for the very thing that you want. And it actually starts by telling yourself that you're grateful for the things that you already have. So it's a funny thing that, it's a funny place that we live in. The things that what we think we need to do is actually the opposite of what we need to do. So if you start from the beginning, start practicing gratitude every day for all the things that you have, for all the things that are free, for all the things that are beautiful in your life, you're going to start to watch and see all the other things unfold. you're going to start to feel better. The people around you are going to start to feel better because they're also attracted to you. And your energy will then allow everything physical in your world to change as well. So as they say, change starts within. And is truly the case. Change starts with you, and it starts with you changing your interior landscape, your interior vibration, and then watch as everything else unfolds. I would love for you to try this out. Maybe you try it for a week, right? Being very grateful, putting it into your water, into your food, into yourself, if you're able to, into everything around you, your friends, your relationships. And then leave a comment below. Tell me how it goes. Tell me how you've experienced, or maybe you have already started practicing gratitude, and tell me how that went, right? So like, oh wow, I started this a year ago and all these things have changed. Leave a comment below if that happened. I would love to interact with you. Thank you for being here. I'm very grateful for you. I'm grateful that we get to meet. Lots of love. Namaste.